Wreck My Podcast.
Peaches come in a can. They were put there by a man, but not this peach because it's giant. We watch James and the Giant Peach and see if it wrecks our childhood.
Wreck My Podcast.
Okay, before we start,
Disclaimer.
I didn't turn the video camera on for this episode. I'm an idiot. And we even had a visual joke where we said, go watch the video. Which is the best. And I didn't turn the video on. And Cam's also wearing a cool hat today.
Allegedly.
This is allegedly. And this is the worst. This was the worst episode. I could have not turned the camera on.
I know, man.
So if you're watching the YouTube video, it's literally just going to be this beautiful picture the whole time. So you might as well just listen to the audio. But in any case, thank you for listening. And here we go. Peach. Transition. Welcome to Wreck My Podcast, where today we're talking about a giant orange butt. That's right, James and the Giant Peach. I'm here with my guest. He's a marvelous pig in satin. It's Cam.
My name is Cam.
Cam is my
name.
He's Wonder Worm. It's Kreger.
I could feel it coming.
It's the half pint hero and his peach pit pals. It's Joe.
I too like to crawl up into that peach.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
he does.
it's fuzzy.
I also like dark places. The first thing I've had in common with a spider. I'm your host, Jordan. So we're covering James and the Giant Peach because it was picked by our patron Ashley V. Dizzle.
I know her.
So thanks, Ashley, for making us sit through an hour and 16 minutes of this god awful thing.
No, I love it.
Oh my gosh. Well, then let's go into our questions here real quick.
Morgan said you would love it.
Have you watched it before? Have we all watched it before?
Yeah.
I've seen snippets.
Schnips? Is that
Snippets.
Schnippitch.
Definitely have
Snippets.
seen it before.
Yeah,
So
I've seen it multiple times.
Joe,
same.
Cam, and Jordan all have seen it before.
Childhood
Kreger,
theory.
I've seen
Snippets.
it enough as a kid to like. I don't think the theory
Recognize
works.
So
like I saw it as a kid. I saw parts of it as a kid. I'm like, meh.
So was this a favorite? Was this like a favorite of anyone's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved this as a kid, and I loved rewatching it.
Same.
The weird
see,
guys like the weird movie. What would think about it?
Here's what's weird is I remember watching this a ton as a kid and loved it. I was hating my life through this whole thing. I thought it was so bad.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was fantastic.
Kreger, what did you think of it since you'd only seen Schnippitch?
I was like,
Just a smidge.
there's lots of drugs going on in this creation of the film.
Yeah, well,
What's up with that?
I mean, I think Roald Dahl had a weird disorder where he was just constantly on acid, even though he never dropped it, because his books were crazy.
His
well,
books are
also,
nuts.
but this, I looked it up, and the director who directed this directs all the weird movies.
Henry Selick,
Yeah.
who's
Henry Selick.
coincidentally not related to Tom Selleck.
No.
But he rocks the same mustache.
He directed Nightmare Before
But
Christmas
also
and
his
Coraline.
hair. His
he
hair,
did direct those too?
He
Yeah.
did, yeah. He worked with Tim Burton
yeah.
quite a bit, but his hair looks like a Tim Burton character.
Yes.
Like
He
it's
looks-
split down the middle with like weird.
He
parts.
looks like an American version of the guy, one of the writers from The Office, the UK Office, or
the guy who played the
really-
Dwight character.
the really tall, slender
guy who
guy.
played-
yeah, the guy
Gareth?
who played Gareth.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, huh? It's Gareth.
are you talking about the same? Did you
We're-
see Jojo Rabbit?
Wait, we're talking about the UK version of The Office, correct? And you're
Yes.
talking about one of the writers or one of the actors?
He created. Hold on, let me just-
Created
Ricky
it?
Gervais?
No,
Is that-
the guy's really good friends with them. They're really
Stephen Merchant?
Yes.
Oh,
He look
a little
The director of this movie looks like an
bit. A
American
little
Stephen
bit, I
Merchant.
guess. I guess.
His IMDb picture does. I'll show
Joe,
you.
what's up?
Since it's the same director, is that why the pirate captain looks so
Like
much
Jack
like
Skellington?
Jack?
Yes.
My
and they
fun
call
fact,
him Skellington.
My fun fact, yeah, they do call him Skellington. Centipede says it's a skeleton.
Yeah.
It's the same head they used for Jack Skellington.
It totally
claymation
is.
Yeah.
No, like
Wait,
they
that
took
wasn't-
it
that-
from Jack Skellington
Oh, yeah.
and used it for this
Yeah.
movie 2 years later.
Afterwards, I was even like checking the credits, looking for Tim Burton's name. I was like, that was so much like
His
it.
IMDb picture looks just like Merchant.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
The smile.
Yeah.
He could play a pretty good General Hux.
Actually, he does look like Dom. He looks like Dom Hall Gleason's granddad or something. Like that's pretty ridiculous.
Papa.
So, Joe,
Hi.
Joe liked it. Cam liked it. Kreger, what'd you say? Did you like it? I don't remember if you said you liked it or not.
I liked it in the aspect of I was just like everything that was happening. I'm like, I can't wait to hear Jordan's conspiracy corner like fan theories.
Oh, I have some
where
fan
this
theories.
is all like death and drugs and everything.
I actually have a theory that I came with on my on my
I actually had a
own.
theory. I came.
I
with.
came
Cometh
by
on my
myself.
I came with all on my
Came
own. How do you think this compares to some of the other Tim Burton animation movies, as Coraline, Corpse
Tim Burton had
Bride?
nothing to do with
Nightmare.
Coraline.
Oh, I'm sorry, because Henry selected
Yeah.
Corpse Bride. I
Bride,
was going for Corpse
Frankenweenie.
Bride, Frankenweenie, Nightmare Before
Nightmare.
Christmas. How do you think it stacks up against some of those?
They're
it doesn't-
different.
it
Way
doesn't-
different.
I would say
They're
it doesn't cut it.
Oh,
They're different. It's similar to everything that Selleck has made. He has such a strong vein through his movies. He directed Nightmare Before Christmas. He directed this. He directed Coraline, and they all have such a similar style and means of narrative, like filmmaking.
but I mean the animation style, because this is slightly different looking to me than Nightmare Before Christmas. Honestly,
Yeah.
it had more of a rough feel.
Well, because
really,
it's-
I would
it's-
say.
this felt polished to me too. It's just a different style of art.
Little
it
peachy.
felt more Coraline-esque to me.
Yeah.
It did not feel Nightmare Before Christmas-esque
Well, it's
or
because-
Corpse Bride.
It's because Selleck didn't do the art design for Nightmare. Or
I guess
Coraline.
that's true.
you
I guess
also-
that's true.
Yeah, that was Burton.
Because it's
This
the
is-
button eyes is what gets me. The
Yeah.
button eyes always make me think of Coraline.
You
Yeah.
also have the theme of Halloween and Nightmare, so you have like this dark, gritty atmosphere where
Right.
you have a bright, colorful.
That's true. It was a lot more
Yeah,
colorful.
this is like Inside a Peach,
in it.
and it's muted when it's all
But it's also
Yeah.
live action.
I thought it was really weird. The song they sing about being a family near the end,
Yeah.
and they're in space all of a sudden.
Yeah,
and
sick.
then they had a bunch of random crap floating behind them that made no sense to me, like a dude rowing a boat, and then like a spinning top, and I was like, what's the point of all the stuff behind?
That didn't make sense to you, but a rhino in the sky did.
Of course.
It's like LeVar Burton.
has-
It's like LeVar Burton said, "Rhino in the sky."
in the background.
That was good.
There was always things in the clouds.
Yeah.
If you were constantly looking at the clouds
But
in the
they were in
background, there was
space,
always
not the
things.
clouds. It was space.
Boobies.
Oh yeah, I know what part you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's weird,
I-
but
I will say-
mean, they're also in a giant peach that's being flown by seagulls.
Did he go to CalArts? This director?
Yeah.
Of course he did. Yeah, dude.
I will say one thing that kind of bugged me is I felt like they picked from too many different like stories and pulled them in. Like the ants, I was like, this is series of unfortunate events.
Kind of. It had that
Well,
same
yeah.
feel.
Like it just felt
I
like
don't
a
think
bunch
those
of different.
books are out yet.
Series of
It
unfortunate
just
events.
felt like a bunch of different stories pulled together. Like, oh, I like this from this story. Oh, I like this from this story, and like kind of like patchwork together.
But
a story.
all this came from one Roald Dahl story.
Yes,
Yeah.
that
all one
that
book.
I understand, but I'm saying the way it was portrayed
There's-
felt a little bit like picked apart from
Is it?
other
Does it
ones.
only feel that way because you saw all those other movies first?
It might be.
Yeah, because this one
It
came
might
out
be.
before all that.
to be
Well,
honest.
granted, Nightmare did come out before this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, about 2 years before. To be honest, though, Kreger, the Roald Dahl story, it does have a lot of difference, but visually and plot point wise, it's pretty much the same.
Okay.
So the whole Spiker and Sponge thing is very much the same.
Yeah.
One of the main differences is that in this movie, we never really learn how his parents die.
Mhm.
Rhino.
Yeah, the
Well,
rhino
they
took him
say
away.
the rhino, but here's the reason why in the book they say the rhino. A rhino escapes from the London Zoo and kills his parents, and that's why he fears a rhino.
Oh snap!
Because a rhino actually does kill his parents.
not a
They
sky rhino.
they never they allude to the fact, but like the rhino is more a manifestation of James's fears
Yeah.
than an outright.
Yeah, that's
This
why
is
when
what
he
kills your
stands up to
parents.
it, it disappears.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a huge big
Real
difference.
quick, people that saw this earlier when you were kids, did the rhino scare the crap out of you when you were little?
Yep.
Not me. The
I don't
rhino
think
never
so.
really scared
I
me.
don't remember that as being scared of the
I
rhino.
was
just
afraid
because
of
it
the
was like
rhino.
a
Insects that
cloud.
scared the crap out of me
Yeah,
as a kid.
the spider scared me more than anything. I even this time watching, I was heebie-jeebies. I was like, why are you talking to this spider?
Certain people, anything
Honestly, this,
Tim Burton and like Harry Selleck,
Henry.
Henry, whatever. Their creations, at least for me as a kid, most of them are like, no, it's just creepy. I don't know why I would want to watch that. That's how most of their creations were as a
I
kid.
loved
for me.
it.
yeah, I did too. Spider's my favorite character in this entire thing.
Claymation creeps me out in the first place. I hate watching the old Santa Claus
Why?
claymation stuff. Something about claymation. You know how people talk about the uncanny valley? It's when the uncanny valley is so wide it scares me. It's like the Grand Canyon uncanny valley, and I'm like, that's a huge valley. I don't want to be anywhere near it.
It's like Krager with the clay faces.
Yeah, I just something about claymation, how they move
That's so
stop
bizarre.
motion.
I
It
love it.
creeps
Just
me
faces.
out.
I love
It creeps me out.
Yeah, I do too.
Like,
So-
well, I was like, I loved Gummy as a kid. Some of the scenes in Gummy creep me out.
Yeah, Gumby's pretty. I don't like Gumby either. I don't like Wallace and Gromit really either. I think it's creepy.
I loved Wallace and Gromit, but the one where they go to the moon, there were some scary ass parts in that thing.
Yeah. It was
It was
cheesy.
the faces.
The one character that creeped me out more than anyone was the tall, skinny ant who
Yeah,
looked
she
like
was
she could play
terrifying.
a perfect Cruella de Vil.
Yes.
Do you guys
She
know
was the scariest.
what she's from recently?
Well, her name is Joanna Lumley, and she actually kind of
Walking
looks
Dead?
like that in real life.
That's terrifying.
The Walking Dead.
She is from Wolf of Wall Street.
Yep,
She's
she
the
plays
Swiss,
the ant.
The ant who died.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
You could totally tell.
Yep. She also was in Corpse Bride, by the way, too.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of incest between these movies with
Oh, yeah.
actors and everything. If they show up in one, they're usually in all the other
like
ones.
the Lannister stay.
Yes,
it's the best.
So I'm not even going to ask if this wrecked our childhood because it sounds like Cam and Joe, it's a no. It sounds like Jordan's a yes. It sounds like Krager didn't have a lot of
Krager didn't have a
foundation.
childhood.
Krager didn't have the foundation of it in his childhood to be able to say whether
Can
it
we
wrecked
do
his childhood
VeggieTales?
or not.
Oh God, I would. hate
I would
that.
not. I wouldn't want to watch
Yeah.
VeggieTales.
VeggieTales
ever
is the
again.
best.
No.
Morgan just sent me a video. She's like, I don't remember this one. It was the cheeseburger song.
I remember the cheeseburger song.
He'll
I
wait
also-
for you, ooh yeah. He'll wait for you, ooh.
No,
Remember
I've
that?
never seen VeggieTales.
Well, the only one I
You
remember
were a bad
is
Christian child.
is Radshak, Meshach, and Abednego.
Oh, yeah.
where they go into
The
the
chocolate
flame,
bunny?
the big giant chocolate bunny. That's all I remember.
I don't
That's
even.
a-
I don't know.
That's
Yeah.
a joke from George Lopez.
Joe and I were watching this. Joe and I were
Are you
watching.
crying?
this
You don't like the
shit.
chocolate bunny?
Krager and I were watching VeggieTales, and Cam was watching Fruit Loops.
Yeah, I was.
So did you guys get the idea that maybe Spiker and Sponge killed James's parents? I almost felt like there was
Yeah.
I thought there was gonna be an illusion like they're dead because of their paleness and like the veiny parts of their face. They looked like they were dead
Oh.
or zombified.
yeah, but I think that was just a visual thing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny though? If like James was just like cleaning up around the house, he's like, "My ants are fucking messed up." Cuss 2 times in a row.
How dare you, Cam? Why are you doing this to me?
I
Why are
don't
you
know.
making me edit this
I
thing?
don't know, man.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
So
I didn't get that vibe though. That
do you
they
think
killed him.
Do you think that what actually killed his parents? Do you think it was a storm? Because here's the thing: the rhino isn't real, right? It's because he stands up to it and obviously goes away.
Yeah,
so it's a
disappears,
manifestation of his fear. But it seems like he's afraid of storms.
Yeah.
So
I have to say, how is that a manifestation of a fear if he ends up on top of the Empire State Building?
what do you mean?
How can that not
It
be
was
real?
a storm. It was a storm that knocked him into it. It was actually a storm.
Kind of like how he sees things in the clouds.
Which-
he sees
yeah.
a rhino in a storm.
Because if you think about it, thunder and lightning, it's loud. The clouds are dark. You can see weird things in them. What I think happened, because they live on a lighthouse on the smallest beach in England, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think his parents were sailors because they said they were going to sail to New York.
Right.
And if you're in a lighthouse, you normally are some type of nautical.
Oh, like a
Right.
Nostradamus. kind of thing.
Yeah. There you go. So I think his parents were out sailing and a storm came in that
And-
capsized their boat.
I think
and
so,
killed
too.
them and drowned them.
Or
Like Frozen.
water rhino.
Or water rhino. There's
Like
there's-
Frozen.
Like Frozen, sure.
Or, yeah, maybe they're in the water. Storm carried him away. It has
Yeah,
to
I
do
don't know.
With
Apparently, he can hold his breath for an inordinate amount
I
of
was
time.
gonna
as
say
well.
these
Yeah.
people, but
And
also,
claymations don't breathe.
yeah, also they have crocodile magic tongues in them,
Which are
so,
sick.
I
That's
mean,
true.
come on.
They look more like pasta.
Yeah, they look like the spring pasta.
Yeah.
One thing that bugged me was all the homes from the outside were way too tiny. They looked like I was in Toontown. Like, what
were
is this
small.
crap?
I
They
thought
were
I was
so
about to see
small.
Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, seriously though, it was bad.
Also, New York, not enough crime.
Well, here's
It wasn't gritty enough.
I didn't
That
see
beat-
one rat or one pool
Nope.
of
That
blood.
beat
Yeah.
cop, that beat cop did not look beat.
No, he did not. Well, here's the funny thing, because the whole idea is James really wants to go to New York. I'm like, James, have you ever been to New York? It's terrible. You think your life sucks here? Why not go someplace where it just smells like piss all the time? A rat is dragging a giant piece of your pizza, and people are dying on the subway. Like, this is not where you want to go, sir.
Do we know what time frame that was supposed to be?
1949, I believe, is when the year was supposed to be. Yeah.
Okay.
So after the Great World War II.
The Great World War II depression.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
Cam,
it was a fall of my people.
Yeah. Oh God.
since you and I were the only ones who actually liked it,
Yeah.
was there any part of it that you didn't like?
Oh man, that's a good point.
That's a great question, Joe.
Yeah. I didn't didn't like the "My Name Is James" song.
That's my. So here's the thing. I forgot this was a musical.
Yeah.
And then they start.
You do that pretty often.
I do
with
that
movies.
because I feel like I don't really like musicals, so I
You just forget that
yeah,
part.
I just block it out of my memory. So this song
The
shows
music
up.
isn't a musical.
This song shows up. Worst song in the whole the whole movie. Yeah, and they choose for this to be the song that introduces you to the story. Second off, the moment he started singing it, I went, did Randy Newman write this?
Yes, he did.
And Randy Newman
Newman
wrote
did.
all the
Yeah,
songs.
yeah.
Because that sounds like the most Randy Newman song. My name is James.
James.
James
This
is
is
my
my
name.
name.
I
That's
want
the
people
name.
to say my name.
That's-
James.
got the James.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Jordan, can you do a Randy Newman impression?
Oh, God. And I look up to the sky, and I'm about to jump, but I don't jump. I wait to jump.
That's actually really good. It's not bad. Yeah.
But also, did they get like a young Mike Tyson to voice like James or something? Like that was bugging the crap out of me.
I was watching this with Corey, and she went up to go to the bathroom, and there was like some music going on. She comes back, and she goes, "Does that Toy Story guy make this music?"
That song
Yeah.
sounds
And then-
so
and
much like a
then-
Randy Newman
yeah.
And then in the
song.
credits, you hear Randy Newman.
Randy
Yeah.
Newman
Yeah.
with his original song, Good News. Yeah.
Good news. Yeah. But
I got the
I hated that song.
Yeah,
that song
I
was
agree. That song was terrible.
awful.
And otherwise, I thought the rest of it was pretty cool. That weird like shark boat
That's
was dope.
actually
That
the
was cool.
part that I didn't like.
Really?
I
Oh, you
didn't
don't
like the mechanical shark.
Ah,
I didn't like it because they're just like, they're calling it a real shark, but it's a mechanical shark, and they never explain why.
That shark caused a lot of pollution.
And it did. And it also just shoots fish heads on plates.
I know.
Yeah.
Which is
well,
dope.
again, remember, this whole story is just a manifestation of
Yeah.
his fears.
Yeah, he's afraid of-
That's it.
But apparently
and
his
sharks.
fears are
Yeah.
real because the spiders and the animals were there.
But it's because of the magic tongues.
Yeah.
The reality and physics don't apply
They don't.
when you're high on green tongues.
Like when you're in outer space and stuff flies past you.
yeah. What outer space? It's a flat earth. There's no space.
So when he drops the tongues, how come it only affects the fruit and not the actual tree itself?
It does affect the tree.
The tree
'cause
grew the fruit.
grows on it.
Yeah, but why is it just one peach?
That's what the tree chose. That's what the tree wanted.
Because what's better than one giant peach? I don't know.
Two giant peaches.
Two giant peaches.
No, that would be too sensual.
So I had a thought here. I had a thought that this is just Sweeney Todd, the prequel.
Oh.
James is Sweeney Todd,
This is
and when he
before
comes
he gets
back,
his
when
cosmetology
he comes,
license?
because he comes in Sweeney Todd, he's coming back to London from
Yeah.
America, I believe.
Yeah.
So once all the insects die, and he's sad and depressed, he comes back to back to the hole with a plex to the floor to the bus to the bottom, London.
There's a hole in the world like a great black pit, and the vermin of the world inhabit it, and its morals aren't worth what a pig could spit, and it goes by the name of London.
Did you also forget that was a musical?
Nope, I know that. That's my favorite musical, actually.
I mean, he did have to come back for the best pies in London.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are the best pies in London. So guys, before I
Oh,
tell
I
you
thought
the
they were
nitty gritty
fries.
of this movie, let's watch the trailer.
Okay.
And it looks like a 90s trailer. I'm just forewarning you.
Sick.
Is trailer guy in it?
Maybe.
From Walt Disney Pictures
Hop on, James!
comes the wildest,
Holy shipwreck!
weirdest,
You enormous bugs!
fascinating, isn't it? Most exciting motion picture adventure of the year.
He's gonna cut me in half! Let's get out of here!
James and the Giant Peach. The story of a daring explorer,
Where are we?
his extraordinary friends,
We're lost. This is all your fault. You blithering nitwit. Bite me.
Have you two gone mad?
Dare you?
and a bizarre world where anything can happen.
It's a giant shark!
What do we do?
Walt Disney Pictures and the director of The Nightmare Before Christmas invite you to go over the edge
Good heavens! He's committed pesticide.
and beyond your imagination.
Is it not beautiful? The place where dreams come true.
Wahoo!
James and the Giant Peach.
That music sounded very much Danny Elfman-esque. Was that Danny Elfman?
What's this?
Yeah, that was What's This?
Oh, that's funny. I guess that's weird.
That is weird.
I don't know why they were playing that
yeah,
song.
that is weird.
I like how he's like, New York, the place where dreams come true. Yeah, tell that to about the 1,000 fledgling ladies who didn't make it and are now stripping. So anyway, I don't know.
Is that what they end up doing? I never knew. I thought they went off Broadway.
Joke about the casting couch. I don't know. Is that an LA thing or is that a New York thing?
It's out here.
That's
thing,
out here.
dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a Chatsworth
So let
thing.
me tell you about this movie.
All right.
Came out April 12th, 1996. Did you guys see it in theaters?
Yeah.
No.
I saw it
did.
in theaters. Yeah. Okay, cool. So Cam and I had a good childhood. It's a Disney movie. Okay. Guess what it got on Rotten Tomatoes? So audience or I'm sorry, critic.
140%.
140%
Okay.
critic score.
Critic? Ooh, that's a tough one, actually. I feel like they go like,
Critic, I'll say 79.
I was
79.
thinking in the 70s too.
70s.
I'll go 60s.
91% critic
Oh
score.
Nice.
my
Nice.
word.
It has a
It's a good movie.
66%
It is a good movie.
audience, though.
66 audience.
So the critics honed in on that, yes, it's hard to manage all these different effects going on and
Yeah.
stuff. And they do it in a way that's very wonderful.
It's just 'cause
It's
it's a
great
Roald
for a
Dahl.
kid.
It's
I mean,
whimsical.
It's whimsical. And Roald Dahl stories are very whimsical, and they
Yeah.
captured it. And Roald Dahl actually never wanted this movie to be made.
Really?
Because he thought it could never be adapted. And after he died, his widow was like, sure, pay me money and I'll let you do it.
Yeah.
And Disney did. Actually, Roald Dahl did have a good relationship with the Disney studios. So
Right.
if anyone was going to do it, it was going to be them. And
Yeah.
she knew that now it was time they would be able to represent it properly.
Right.
But Roald Dahl thought that this story was too insane to ever be
It is
done.
insane.
It is
It
insane.
is.
So it had a $38 million budget.
That makes sense.
Grossed only
Lot of
$28
animation.
million.
Oh, wow.
Did not make its money back. So this is a critical failure.
Yeah.
No good there. The Roald Dahl book is same name, James
Yep.
and the Giant Peach. No difference there.
Did you ever read the book?
I never read the book. No, I never actually read any Roald Dahl books when I was growing up.
Oh, really?
Unless he wrote the furry centipede or whatever that was.
just
What was
The
that?
Very Hungry
The
Caterpillar.
Very Hungry Caterpillar. That's it.
Or the Furry Centipede. Also, how the hell did I know what you were talking about?
Because everyone had that book when they were a
Oh,
kid
it's
in
the
the
best.
90s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
When I was little, my mom would be like, and he ate 3 apples, and he was, and there's like videos of me going like, still hungry.
Yeah.
It's the cutest.
Yeah, it's great. And you still say hungry to this day.
I do, yeah. I'm still hungry.
Tim Burton was a producer on this as well, not
Yeah.
just art department, but
Oh, okay.
producer. Paul Terry is the boy who played James.
Yep.
Literally
His
one
name
of
is
his
James?
2 credits. No, his name is Paul Terry.
Oh.
Literally one of his 2 credits. This is the only movie he did. I don't know how they got him. They literally had 500 people that played for this part, and they're like, you know what? Let's get the one who's not going to do anything ever again as an actor.
Yeah,
So
it scarred him because he was on a freaking peach.
well, he was never actually in a peach.
Gregor's just like, that human boy looks weird.
Why is he so weird looking?
I wasn't being
That's
serious.
a big worm.
So Grasshopper.
I'll show you a big worm. It's over in the other state.
Grasshopper was voiced by Simon Calloway.
Yep.
Oh, dude,
Harry
not
Potter.
Calloway, Callow.
Yeah,
Simon
from
Callow.
Harry
Sorry.
Potter.
Simon Callow? That's
Yeah.
the guy that
Harry Potter.
founded One Direction, right?
Yes.
I thought he
Simon
was
Callow.
the judge on American
wait.
Idol.
Yeah.
Krager, who was Simon Callow in Harry Potter?
He was the werewolf guy.
You mean Lupus?
Lupin?
Remus?
Lupin?
I mean, yeah, Remus Lupin.
Yeah.
No,
I don't
that's
think that was
that's
him.
not Grasshopper. He does show up. He plays a different character. You're correct.
I
Not
misread.
Grasshopper.
I misread the IMDb credits.
Simon Callow was in Phantom of the Opera.
Nice.
He was in Amadeus. And his best role ever, Ace Ventura 2 when Nature Calls.
Oh, does he play the rhino?
No,
Plastic.
I'm pretty sure he plays the dude who has the trophy room in Ace Ventura 2, the
Oh
older
yeah,
guy.
yeah,
We have Richard Dreyfuss playing the centipede.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, American Graffiti.
What about Bob?
What about Bob?
Oh my
also,
gosh, I forgot about what about
his-
Julia Louis' dad?
Yep.
his favorite, his best role ever, Piranha 3D.
Yeah.
We have Jane Leeves. She played Ladybug. You know her as Daphne from Frasier.
Yep.
Where did she go?
What do you mean?
Jane leaves.
I mean, she hasn't acted in a while, but okay. Joanna Lumley was Spiker, as we talked about. Miriam Margolis played Sponge, also voiced Glowworm So she did 2 in this movie. She's Professor Sprout.
Valar Morghulis.
She played Professor Sprout in Harry Potter.
Oh, cool.
We have Pete. How do you say his name? The old man who is Roland in Lost World.
Oh, the one that's running for president right now, Pete Buttigieg?
No.
Oh, I'm just kidding. Continue.
Pete Postlethwaite. Pete
Postlethwaite?
Postlethwaite. He was in The Lost World. He played Roland, my favorite character in Lost World when I was a kid. He was in Inception, The Usual Suspects. He's a big actor.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of things.
Yeah. We have Susan Sarandon. She was the Spider. I did not peg her for being the Spider, honestly.
I was like, she sounds so familiar, and I couldn't figure it out. So when I looked it up, and then as soon as you see her face, it clicks like that.
But she doesn't have that. She made up that accent, so like it was throwing me off.
But you can hear with her tone and her cadence
little
and
bit.
everything. Oh, 100% once I figured
and
it out.
if
it was
you
her.
want another episode where Susan Sarandon shows up, she played Mom in Speed Racer, which we
She
covered
did.
a few weeks
I
or a few
love
months
Susan
back.
Sarandon.
David Thewlis played Earthworm. He is Remus Lupin
Yeah.
from Harry Potter. He's also in Wonder Woman, plays Ares. Sorry, spoiler. He was in the Fargo TV show for the second season, which
It's
is
a
like
great
my
show.
favorite TV show.
Great
and he's
show.
also in The Big Lebowski. I think he in The Big Lebowski, he's the guy at the bowling alley who's the crazy guy that talks to the dude.
Yeah.
He shows up there. And then finally, we have Mike Starr, who plays the cop at the end. He's the guy from Dumb and Dumber that they accidentally kill.
Yep.
He's also,
Forgot
the
about
Office
that.
fans will know him as Grotti, who shows up to give Michael Scott some life insurance.
The life insurance.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he thinks he's part of the mob.
And they filmed that just down the street from where we record this at what used to be called JJ's Bistro. Or no, not JJ's. It was called George's Bistro. And now it's called Olive Terrace
Terrace?
now.
That place
Oh, yeah.
is good.
Olive Terrace is
I've been
good.
there. Yeah, it's pretty good. I've been there.
But, you got to get the gabagool.
And for you, sir?
I will have the gabagool.
What?
The gabagool.
I don't really know what that is.
You know, gabagool. I don't have to have
What
that.
he's trying to say is
Guys,
gabagool.
guys, all right.
I don't really think that we have
That's
that.
okay.
Bring him the gabagool.
I will have the spaghetti with a side salad.
Okay.
If the salad is on top, I send it back.
Yeah, you got gabagool. Aside, I'll have my spaghetti with a side of salad. If the salad comes on top, I send it back. All right. Here we go with. You know what? I don't think I. Yes, I did. All right. So here we go with Jordan explaining the movie. Oh yes, it's time for Jordan to explain the movie quickly. Erroneously teaching kids that bugs are not something to be feared and that you can live off just peaches, the orphan James becomes claymation and fulfills his dreams of traveling to New York City. In the process, we unfortunately all learn that we have more in common with Spiker and Sponge the older we get. There you go.
I support this message.
That's it. All right, so let's talk about the plot now. This is the plot breakdown. So we start off with a giant peach. No, that's not where we start. We meet James Henry Trotter.
Yep.
Looking at you, J.K. Rowling, where you stole Harry Potter from. James Henry Trotter.
Do you guys know the movie Troll? Have you ever seen the movie Troll?
Troll?
There's a movie Troll that came out in like 1986, and the main character's name is Harry Potter, and he is in like a building that's full of magic.
No, that's
Really?
not true.
Dead serious, yeah.
Seriously? Is that where J.K. Rowling stole
No,
it
but
from?
they tried to sue J.K. Rowling, and she was like, "No." Like she's like that. It's just a regular name.
If Roald Dahl was still alive, he'd probably try and sue because
Probably.
Roald Dahl was a very Irie man. He was not a happy man.
he was Irie, he was from Jamaica.
Or was he wiry?
Was he
honorary?
honorary?
Honorary? Isn't Irie
Ornery?
a word?
Maybe.
Or-
Irie is like-
ornery.
Ornery.
That's
Yeah.
what I was going
He's like,
for.
Irie's like when you're all stoned, you're like,
Oh,
Irie.
my bad.
Maybe,
Honorary.
maybe he just had the trots when he came up with the name.
Could have the trots.
So he has a wonderful life living on an isolated beach with his parents. One day, a rhino comes out of the sky and kills his parents.
Oh no!
Yeah, now he lives a life of misery with his two aunts, Spiker and Sponge. James's parents, I know. James's parents.
Are those their birth names?
Yes, totally their birth names.
Which one is which?
Spiker's the tall one, Sponge is the fat one.
Of course.
Yeah.
Couldn't you tell when he has it like dream and like she's literally made out of sponge?
Was she? Is that what they were
Yeah.
going for? Oh, that's funny. That
don't
dream
remember
was
that part.
insane.
Yeah, it's awesome.
James's parents promised to take him to New York City before they died, so that's all he wants to do. Spiker consistently fat shames Sponge in her dainty little toes. James is literally so hungry he's licking a chip bag.
Yeah.
That was sad. That was actually
so
that
sad.
moment. I'm like, this is actually really sad.
Did you
right
see the
now.
brand of the chips?
Well, no, I didn't.
Tato, T-A-Y-T-O.
Tato chips.
I want
I love
Tato
those
chips.
Tato chips.
chip, please.
Hey,
Tato chip.
Hey, Cam, what kind of chip do you want?
Tato.
Tato. So
Tato.
I
Potatoes. What's tater?
what's Tato?
Potatoes.
Boil them, mash them.
Put them in a stew. So James holds a spider for some reason.
Dude,
because
it's his only friend.
I guess. Also, what's the matter with you, sir, for holding a spider?
Spiders are
What's
cool.
wrong with holding a spider?
I would
Yeah.
never
Everything?
hold a spider
I'd
ever.
hold a spider.
You guys are
Put
weird.
it back to its web.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you watched Charlotte's Web one too many times. James sings a song and sends a hot air balloon made out of paper and a candle out his window. Here's my question. He said that's his most prized possession in life, that candle his parents
Yeah.
got him before they died.
And he just
Why is
cast
he
it
just
away.
sending it out?
I made that
into the-
same joke when I was watching
Yeah, I
it.
was like, I don't get it. Guess James never got to talk about not accepting magic crocodile tongues from strangers because he just accepts.
That guy just shows up.
He just shows up,
Yeah.
is jumping around.
He's
it's like,
jingly.
He's a weird-looking dude.
He's a weird-looking dude.
He has an eye that will randomly turn into the moon for some reason. And then like he gives him a bag of green glowy crocodile tongues that were stewed in the
look
skull
like
of a witch
worms.
for a week or something.
10 days.
10 days in the skull of a witch.
10 days and 10 nights.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Or
Because
was it 20?
you take it out at
It might
night.
have been 20.
20 days, 20
20 days
nights,
and
and then
20
it's
nights.
simmered in something for a while too.
Yeah.
It sounds like when I brew beer. So he takes this bag, and of course James, the klutz he is, just spills them everywhere.
Like instantly.
Instantly, like not 2 seconds
No.
later.
He's like,
And
be careful with these.
Yeah,
and then he falls down.
it leads to a giant peach growing in the yard.
Sick.
Did Spiker say, "Well, I'll be blowed"? It sounded like she said, "Well, I'll be blowed."
It might be I'll be blown, like blown away.
Sure.
Like I'll be damned.
Also, this movie would never get away with a PG rating now. That peach is so damn sexy.
It
would
is
get an
sexy.
R rating today.
Yeah. When it was growing, I looked at Corey. I was like, "Ooh, shorty thick."
So after Spiker and Sponge try to monetize the peach,
Yeah.
James takes off on an adventure inside of it with one magic tongue that makes its way into a piece of peach that he eats. And no, none of that is actually
Innuendo.
gross innuendo.
Yeah,
Literally all
magic
happens. James turns animated, and there's a bunch of giant talking bugs inside the peach.
Yeah, like a little portal opens
Yep.
up and then
Yeah.
closes itself. And he crawls in.
Yeah.
A little- well,
Which
it's like
I love that
A little
shot.
portal from the side opens up, and he crawls in, but then there's a portal from the top. And it's like, okay.
No, that's just a porthole.
Yeah, it's a
That is
porthole.
Yeah.
So they go off on their own adventure, and they go out to sea pretty much. So now they're
Yep.
sailing on a giant peach. My question, Spiker and Sponge, when the peach is starting to fall towards them, why do they run to the car to try and drive away? Why don't they just step 2 feet to the side and let it go by them?
Because they're so greedy, they're trying to move their car out of the way so it doesn't get damaged.
That's
Is
actually
that why?
probably a really
Okay.
good point.
Did you know?
They love their car. That's why
Did
they
you
kept
know that in the book they get in their car and they get crushed and die at that scene? They
Oh,
don't
nice.
actually live after that. They die.
Nice, good.
Yep.
They deserve it.
That makes a lot more sense than them apparently
Driving
driving their
across
car
the
like
ocean.
a submarine.
Yeah. We'll get to
all
that.
damaged and everything.
We'll
just
get,
like
we'll get-
sunken in.
Yeah, and I think she has crabs. We'll get to that in a second.
She definitely had crabs. Or at
They
least
look
one.
like something out of Pirates. Like
I
David
don't get
Jones
the joke.
people.
I don't get the joke.
It's not a joke. It just looked like something from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, okay, sure. So do grasshoppers live decades?
Yeah.
Okay, so then when he's because he's like the grasshopper says he's lived decades. I'm like, I'm pretty sure grasshoppers don't live that long.
But he's a damn good fiddler.
He's a
He
great
is
fiddler.
a great fiddler, and he's not the fiddler on the roof. He's the fiddler on the peach.
Yep.
So, why are they all wearing clothes?
Why
so
not?
they're not naked.
Okay, cool.
Spider wasn't.
Good. Yes, she was. She was wearing heels.
Yeah,
Oh,
she was
that's
wearing
right.
heels. Her heels were fierce.
Hey,
They were
and-
fierce.
And a beret.
She
Yeah.
only wants to wear a beret and heels. I'm down.
All French people wear black and white stripes, berets, and heels.
Yeah, that's it.
They
Nice
use
heels.
earthworm to lure some seagulls to get the peach to fly.
He didn't want to do that either.
No, he did not.
Grasshoppers live for 7 weeks.
Well, they got that wrong.
Yeah,
There's-
Roald Dahl, you
Yeah.
loser.
Idiot.
There's a giant mechanical shark that shows up to try to stop them. But hey, wouldn't you know it, they make it just in time. Whoop-de-doo. They are now starving, and it just finally dawns on them that they are literally flying on a giant food source.
Yeah.
Apparently,
So-
you can make carbonation by stomping on a peach.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, they had peach beer.
Peach
They had
beer.
peach beer, which sounds.
Yes.
Yeah, we should have gotten some for this cast.
Oh, that'd be a great idea.
Speaking of, James has a crazy dream, probably because he got drunk off of peach beer.
Yeah.
Centipede gets them super lost, so now they're like in the Antarctic or somewhere. I don't know.
Or
It
maybe
was-
the deep south, he said.
Yeah, the deep south. I don't know. It was very
Roll
if you-
Tide.
Keep going past Alabama, and you don't get to the equator. You actually get to frigid.
Is she related to Brigitte?
Frigid. So Centipede, James, and Spider go into the water to get a compass from one of the sunken ships, and they end up fighting a dead crew of pirates. I said, I guess they can breathe underwater now, as we brought up before, that laws of physics just don't apply here. They narrowly escape, and there's a scare that Centipede died, but he's all right, and now they're all friends again, because that's how life works, isn't it? With the compass on the peach, they now continue on to New York and past midnight. And James gets a music lesson from Grasshopper.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does. They make it to New York, but wouldn't you know it, that giant rhino shows up in the clouds to stop them. So James has to face his fear, but ends up losing the bugs in the process. And then he lands on top of the Empire State Building, now in unanimated form.
Yes.
That peach got penetrated.
Well, the peach did get penetrated, and it dropped juice on people. From the height of the Empire State
be
Building,
dead.
wouldn't they die from that juice landing on
Yes,
them?
from
Isn't
the
that
juice
the
effect.
thing?
How thick is it?
It's pretty thick.
It's pretty thick. That's one
A
thick.
penny won't kill you,
peach.
but it'll hurt you.
No, they did a study that said the penny will cut straight through your skull from the top of the Empire State Building.
Also-
Oh, was that a Mythbusters busted?
Yep.
Oh, bummer. I was lied to as a child.
That's also a little piece of metal compared to
Just juice.
peach juice.
Here's what I have to say. If you jumped off the Empire State Building, oh my God, you guys are
Peach
so
juice.
ridiculous. Yes.
what I did?
If you jumped off,
Totally. You just went peach juice.
I can't edit that. I don't know how I'm supposed to edit that. Just blur it out. Blur it out.
That's just a little treat for the YouTubers.
Yeah. Go watch YouTube for that. So if you jumped off the Empire State Building and landed in water, you would die. So wouldn't, if you turned that around and had water fall from the Empire State Building?
Only if it was the equivocal weight of water.
I guess that's true, because it's the volume of water.
Also,
I guess,
you know what?
Does it?
You know what? Actually, I think if we're talking about water, it wouldn't kill them because water would spread out and go would turn to rain.
What's the
What would
Mythbusters names called? We should get them to do this
Adam
myth.
and
Adam and Walrus with a beret. What's his name?
Adam Savage
he wear
and
heels
Jamie
too?
Heineman.
Hyman. His Hyman.
It's Heineman.
Oh,
but,
okay.
no, but I think if we're talking literally, if it's as
It would
thick, if it's water,
Yeah.
if it's as thick as it looks in the movie,
Yeah.
that could, I don't know about kill them. It could definitely harm them.
I would
What's
think
the parameters?
so too.
What's the temperature? What's the humidity? What are we talking here?
Well, what's the
Well,
yaw?
it's New York, so it's probably a really gross sewage smell because it's been there for longer than 30 seconds. Yeah, the moment you step off of JFK, you're like, oh, I smell terrible. People from New York just know I do not like New York. So they get the biggest crane in New York to get James and that peach down.
That was a big crane.
That was a big crane. Spiker and Sponge show up to take James home, but he won't go with them
In their
because
destroyed car.
yeah, they just drove through the Atlantic in their car for some reason.
It reminded me of the Batman movies, the mid-level ones with Clooney and all that.
Oh, it did look like Tim Burton
Yeah.
Batman. Totally.
Yeah.
It did. Here's my question. So I can rationalize that James made it all the way to New York on a peach because of magic, right?
Right.
Sure. But there's no
Uh-huh.
magic tongues that Spiker and Sponge had. So how the heck are you supposed to rationalize they drove their car through the Atlantic over there? They had no magic help.
They might have got.
No.
Maybe it's the same way that there was a mechanical shark.
No. Because that's part of the magic.
Why? It didn't get any crocodile
No, but
tongues.
Everything that was from James's perspective.
Oh, like
is
the car
magic.
pulling it.
Well, that's still his perspective. Maybe they flew in and came in on a taxi and he just saw the damaged car.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not buying it. I'm leaving here with all my money.
He's friends with a worm.
That's true. But it's funny because James, everyone realizes he's not crazy because the bugs show up.
Yeah.
And they're still animated.
Yeah.
and
So cool.
he says that he's beaten and starved.
Yes, but he was beaten and starved.
Yes, I know, but
Yeah.
I'm not like that would have been like the first thing you say.
That should be the first thing you say, not destroying your credibility by saying, I came here with a bunch of bugs. That's exactly how James sounds.
That's what he sounds like the whole
You
time.
actually were more literate than he was.
Yeah.
Spider ties up the ants like they were going to
Die?
eat them. Yeah.
Yeah. So James lets everyone eat the peach, and the largest outbreak of dysentery in recorded history.
Also, on a note of the ants being taken away, just a creepy crane driver. We just see a hand. That's all we see. It's creepy as hell.
He's gonna go dump him in the Platon. No, that's
the
Hudson.
Platonic.
The Platonic
the placenta
is in DC.
The
I meant the
Platonic triangle.
Hudson. I meant the Hudson. I know
Placentia.
geography. So James now lives in the pit of the peach in Central Park with the bugs. Did you guys stick around for the post-credit teaser?
There was one.
Was a post-credit teaser?
Not actually joking this time. There was a legit post-credit teaser that I stuck around for.
Oh,
What was it?
Because I love our listeners so much that even a movie I hate, I stayed 6 minutes till the end. So, post-credit teaser is an old arcade game called Spike the Ants, where you play as a rhino trying to use its horn to hit the ants that are twirling about up at the top, and then when you finish the game, a headstone comes up that says game over. It's actually quite creepy looking, in my opinion. I'll pull a YouTube up for you guys after.
I'm going on Disney Plus right now.
Pull it up. We'll watch it. I'll throw it in the video for you guys so you can see it. But yeah, that's that. So let's get into fun facts.
Okay.
What is facts? Baby, they're fun. They're fun. Oh yeah. What is facts? Baby, they're fun. They're fun. Oh yeah. You probably could have just found it on YouTube, Krager. It probably would have been 10 times easier just to type post-credit scene in YouTube.
Seriously.
Yep. All right. So, guys, here's a fun fact. The head, we already talked about that, Jack Skellington head. Apparently, Sam Mendes was in talks to do a remake of this right now. The guy who did Skyfall and some other movies.
Oh.
Yeah, he wanted...
Is he related to Shawn Mendes?
I hope not. Because Stitches... Is he the guy who did Stitches? I don't know.
I don't know.
Spiker and Sponge are killed in the book. Like I said, the film was going to be done entirely in stop motion, but was changed to a hybrid to cut down on costs. So they would have lost even more money if they did all of it in stop motion. The book has been banned or challenged quite a bit.
Really? Why?
Yeah, because of the dark tones, death, kid being beaten and starved. I think there was a sexual theme at one part.
Off-brand potato chips.
Off-brand potato chips.
Potato.
I'm pretty sure that there was a sexual theme with the bugs in the book.
Oh, all the bugs were effing?
Yeah, they were just banging all over the place.
Yeah.
It
That
was
was the
crazy.
only thing missing from this movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Mrs. Spider does put a smooch on Mr. Centipede.
I mean, when you're living inside the personification of a giant butt, it's kind of going to get banned.
If this came out
yourself
today,
giggle.
I did.
The best.
If
if this came out today, it'd be James and the giant emoji.
it would be. It would be the giant peach emoji next to the giant eggplant emoji.
You know what you could call
with the three
water
three water drops, and then the mouth that's like
You know what you call this if Cam was in it? James and the
Friday
giant
night?
fruit.
Sorry,
Sorry, that was low hanging.
Hey, your hat's real nice, Cam. We never talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Get a dog, little Augie.
This was Dahl's first attempt at writing a kid's book. Before that, he wrote adult stuff.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Like pornography.
Pornography.
Pornography. Get off that porn off. So the words to the song "Eating the Peach" were written by Roald Dahl.
Oh, were they?
It's in the book. And Randy Newman just took it out of the book, and there you go. Scientists calculated it would have taken 2.5 million seagulls to lift that thick peach.
I'm glad that all of our tax money went to that.
Yeah. Hey, they could have had like a capitalistic grant. What am I looking for?
They didn't get a fucking grant for that.
No, come on, man, stop. All right.
I'm passionate about who
you're
gets grants.
passionate about grants.
Yeah.
What about
Ulysses S.
What about Hugh?
Hugh Grants, Ulysses S. Grants. It's great. So I have some conspiracy theories, guys.
Let's do it.
That's all you get of it because I don't want to get a copyright strike. So here's the first one I saw. Someone points out that we have an unreliable narrator, in James and his interpretation of everything in the story. So here's what he thinks it comes down to. The rhino that killed James's parents was most likely a train. James is too young to understand death very well, so he came up with the rhino as the cause of their death. The rhino's glowing eyes and smoky appearance seem to match that of a train.
I could see that, especially like the horn.
Agreedo.
Agreedo.
All right. The scene after the peach grows and the awful ants begin charging admission to see the peach may actually be James's interpretation of his parents' funeral. Family coming in to see it. The ants kind of throwing everything about. He has family from New York that attend the funeral and are also there to take James with them to New York. This can be interpreted by James as the giant bugs. These people he never met before that are coming to take him to this faraway land. And the journey of the peach to New York can be interpreted as James accepting the loss of his parents and warming up to his new family. That's what someone on Reddit
makes it a
said.
lot better of a story.
Yeah, someone on Reddit said that. Here's what I think. I think the whole movie is James's delusional imagination while his parents begin to pass away from exhaustion and starvation. So because he's so he's licking a freaking tater wrapper.
So
all
hungry.
right? So
Tato.
the whole journey was an acceptance of what happened to him in his life and then facing his inevitable death and resting in his coffin, i.e. the peach pit, finally reunited with his friends and family.
It could be.
That's what I think.
The
whole journey is a journey to death.
That's the vibe I got too. Like this is all hallucination from being food deprived, and he died.
Yeah, he was food deprived, and then some guy gave him some like weird roofie candy, and then he died afterwards. That's what happened.
So
acid.
That's worse.
Acid.
That's
one
Cosby.
last thing that was on Reddit because Reddit is a beautiful place. The peach is a vagina, and let me tell you why. Given thought that the peach is a vagina shows that this actually makes sense. I don't know why they had to write that. Like, what I'm saying actually makes sense. To run away from the horrors of his home, his sperm, his balls, his home, right? He flees into the peach, i.e. the vagina. So James is a sperm fleeing the home of the testicles. So his house
ejaculated him into a giant fruit.
Into the giant fruit.
Is
Inside
James the semen or the penis?
James is the semen, and that hole he's going through is the penis into the vagina because he's constantly nourished in this peach, much like the womb. The journey represents the mother growing, and the end result is him coming out into the big world, or as James sees it, New York.
What are the insects?
The insects are those fun placenta.
What are the ants?
The ants are all the other sperm trying to stop the champion sperm, which we all are champion sperms, from getting to where they need to be.
The ants are the birth control.
Yeah. The sponge is what are they?
Diaphragm.
The female condom and spike
female condom.
An IED.
Not IED.
IUD.
Ladies, you've heard it from Jordan. You need to put an IUD up your hoo-ha.
You won't last very long.
Any men in charge of picking women's birth right?
I know it's so true. I know.
You're like, what's it called? An IED? All right.
IED, UTI. What is this?
Sometimes I feel like
me. Wombo.
Sometimes I feel like Marshall and How I Met Your Mother when they're in the gynecologist. She's like, so what's this little guy hanging out up here for? And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's amazing how little I know about the vagina. Anyway, so that's she schooled me quite a bit.
No, hey, she likes it.
She likes it.
Oz done there been.
She had the teacher pointer and everything.
Yeah, she's like,
Oz been.
no.
Bullseye.
7.
All right.
7.
All right, guys. We're done with this episode.
Peach.
That's
Peach out.
Peach
It
out.
was real peach out.
All right, so
You guys want to go get pitted?
Yeah, let's get petted.
let's. You'll find us on Instagram and Twitter as well as YouTube.
Papa don't peach.
Oh, he's peaching to the choir over here. So, ratings and reviews are appreciated. If you give us a review, we'll give you a sticker. Patreon to support us and get rewards. Redbubble to support us and get merchandise. Amazon link on wreckmypodcast.com to support us and not spend any of your own money. There we go. Thank you to Ben from Petrified Gumbo Music for making some of our amazing songs. If you have a podcast or show that you need a composition for, hit him up at petrifiedgumbomusic.com. We will be having an around table next week that will be a live one from POCOCK Brewing Company.
Sunday.
So go check us out at POCOCK Brewing Company Sunday, January 19th at 2 p.m. if you are local in the LA area. Thank you to my guests for being here. Yeah. And finally, thank you to our listeners. We love getting peached with you.
I choose you, Peach-a-chew.
I like and I peach you all.
It's a trap.
Wreck My Podcast.